Hi, I'm Joe Polizzi, and this is the Content Inc. podcast. 5 minutes every Monday for content creators who desire to be content entrepreneurs. Typically with podcast ads, there's a coupon code used to track engagement. You may have noticed the Lulu ads on this podcast haven't provided any codes at all. That's because creating an account and using Lulu is absolutely free. On top of publishing for free, you're on track to earn more, as books are among the top 3 most profitable tactics to monetize your content. Turning your content into a printed book with Lulu has never been easier. Create a free account today at lulu.com. Dave Anthony, who I've worked with at CMI and now the Tilt and CEX for well over a decade, sent me a link to a video with John Mulaney on Hot Ones. If you're not familiar with Hot Ones, it's the celebrity wing eating show where they ramp up the different levels of heat in the wings as you go along. And if you're not familiar with John Mulaney, I can't help you. No, seriously. Our kids turned us on to John years and years ago. Super, super funny comedian. Now, at the end of Hot Ones, John is making a pitch to watch his new Netflix special, Baby J. Now, our family saw Baby J live in Cleveland, Ohio before it was on Netflix. It's really, really good, and I recommend it. Mostly safe for work, I think. Anyway, while he's asking people to watch it, he says, "I hope you check it out, because that means it will get streaming ratings that I never will get any information on." And I'll put this in the show notes. And this is so funny and true. John took the check, and Netflix keeps the ratings. There's nothing wrong with this. Right now, that's the world most comedians like John have to live in. We don't know how much Mulaney made on this, but reports are it's about $3 million plus. That's a pretty good payday, right? Now, I'll come back to this in a little bit, but let's pair Mulaney with Fereed Zakaria. Zakaria is a global political journalist for CNN. If you travel the world, you'll see him on most screens in just about every airport. Prof G and Zakaria were mostly talking about the conflict in Israel. But at the 40-minute mark, Prof G asked him about his own personal career ambitions and business model outside of CNN. He says this: "I want a place where I can have maximum impact, not the place where I can make the most money. If I have to choose, I want an open platform that anyone can access versus a closed platform where you have to subscribe to me, because then I'm only getting my groupies, my fans." I'll put this interview in the show notes as well. My point is, here are two creators making the decision for maximum impact, and I think this is true in Mulaney's case as well, instead of maximum revenue and knowledge of the data. Now let's look at a similar case of a comedian. Louis CK, before he got into all that trouble, sold his stand-up special live at the Beacon direct to consumers in the 2011-2012 timeframe. Now, from reports, he sold enough $5 tickets for this to generate over $1 million in 10 days and about $5 million in a month. Now, let's take the $5 million number. Divide $5 into that, and you have, of course, 1 million people. So Louis CK makes, theoretically, more money than Mulaney on his one special, but to significantly less people. Mulaney's special was the #1 show on Netflix for weeks. Netflix has over 200 million subscribers. The special was most likely watched by way more than 10 million people. So, great for Mulaney, he can use that reach to build more and more fans and sell more tickets to his shows. But for Louis CK, he has the data of 1 million people he can retarget to. So it's two very different content business models, both good. While I believe the better model is Louis CK's in this situation, your goal may not be to create the best long-term business model where you need customer data to survive. If your goal is, as in Fereed Zakaria's situation, maximum reach, you need to sacrifice the control, the data, and possibly the money. Now, the reason I broke this down for you is that you could make a choice as a creator, as a content entrepreneur. I know tons of content creators who are blasting out on every platform for maximum reach. While they may be getting speaking gigs and a lot of views, they sometimes struggle with the business model. I also know a ton of content entrepreneurs who target specific groups with specific offers, sell things directly, have lots of customer data, and create a repeatable business model that works. In many cases, they aren't as well known as the former, but they also don't have to worry much about their financial future. So my question to you is, which one is yours? I'll talk to you next Monday. Until then, differentiate and deliver consistently. Thanks.